What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Bandai SH Figuarts Premium Bandai exclusive, Jeice. And so here we have Jeice posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Jeice does come with several accessories, which they all look really nice on the figure. We get 4 different facial expressions. We do get the grinning expression that he has on him right now. We do get a yelling expression, which looks nice. We get an expression that he's worried, which also looks really good. Then we get a yelling expression where he's looking off to the right. He also comes with a pair of fists. We get a pair of flat-palmed hands. We get a pair of clenching hands. We get a pair of hands with his fingers splayed out. We get a pair of style pose Ginyu hands. Then we get a left hand for holding his suitcase. Then we do get the suitcase that he does carry the scouters in. We get his red crusher ball effect, which looks really nice. I do like the way it attaches onto the figure. We do get alternate shoulder pads with Jeice. We do get the standard ones which go on his armor really nicely. Then we do get some that work for poses, and those fit on really nicely. Finally, we do get the 2-star Namekian Dragon Ball, and then we get an alternate Captain Ginyu head for the Goku Saiyan Raised on Earth figure. Overall, I think Jeice here comes with quite a bit of accessories, and they all work with the figure nicely. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Jeice. So, taking a look at Jeice, I think Bandai has done a really good job on this figure, although I do have some criticisms against this figure. For starters, they did a really good job on the face. The face looks just like Jeice did in the anime. I have no complaints there. I do feel like quite possibly his hair is too big. I know Jeice had really big hair in the anime, but I think it's kind of too much, honestly. It does fit the figure nicely, but again, it just looks so poofy. I think it would have been nice if it was a little bit spikier, and there's no reason why they couldn't do that, but it does feel like he has too much hair at the top. Maybe if it was just a little bit shorter at the top, it would look a little bit better, at least in my opinion. If you think the hair is fine as it is, then that's perfectly fine too. But the face is done really well. I love the green scouter. It fits on the figure perfectly. My only issue is that we only get one scouter. I would have liked it if each face came with a scouter. I don't know why we have to take the scouter on and off just to pose them, but yeah, that's just something I wish that we didn't have to do, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. So having a look at his hair, and as you would imagine, the hair does make him incredibly back heavy because it is this really big hunk of plastic, and you can see it encompasses most of the figure. Like if I were to do that, he looks like a Shagrog. So yeah, even though the hair is nicely detailed, it does make him a little bit back heavy. As you can see, it does make posing him a little bit hard. But thankfully, we do get a little attachment on the back, which if you want to have a stage attached to him, we do get an alternate plate for him in the back. So that's really nice that they added that little extra detail so that he's not just standing on his own weight, which again, it is really obvious to see he is pretty back heavy, and even trying to pose him so that the hair isn't, he's kind of going to be leaning forward a lot, and that's no way to have an elite warrior pose. But anyway, taking a look at his gear, really do like the armor, although I'm not a fan of the way they designed it. I do think that Jeice here is a little bit too big. If anything, Jeice is about the size of Vegeta, so I don't know why he's much wider than Vegeta. I don't know if that's just to make him a little more imposing, but yeah, they didn't make him wider than Vegeta, despite the fact in the anime they were about the same size. So take that as you will. Not a fan of how they designed his armor here. Now, I did mention this with Captain Ginyu, that they went with an old style armor with Ginyu. They went even older with Jeice, so that we only have a hinge, and it's a seat clamp. So the way that works is that it just clamps on and moves up and down. It really doesn't move out of the way, doesn't move side to side. Thankfully, to get him in poses, we do get alternate shoulder pads, but again, they're just stylized. You can't really do much with them, which that is unfortunate. The armor is done really well. I think that's one thing Bandai does exceptionally well, especially here with the back. And like I said, you can remove this part and attach a stand attachment so that you can have him standing with a Tamashi's display stage if you don't want him standing on his own weight, because you can see the hair really does add so much weight to him. It pulls him back so much. The gloves are done really well. It really does seem like these are Vegeta arms. I don't think they are. They might be. I haven't had a really good chance to look at the arms, but for what they are, they're done exceptionally well. I love the gloves on him. Then we go on to my least favorite part of Jeice, his lower body. I really am not a fan of the Speedos and bare legs. I don't know, there's just something off about it that I don't like, and I kind of wish that he wore pants. I kind of wish the Ginyu Force wore pants in general, but that's just me. But they did do a really good job with the musculature on Jeice, and something I haven't touched on yet is that they did a really good tone of red for his skin. It's not too overpowering and it's not too orange. It's just perfect, and it looks really nice. You can see all the musculature right here in his ankles and calves look good. He has some really thick ankles there. We got a case of cankles with Jeice here. We do have his feet, which do look really nice, and then we do get his pointed shoes, which again, that's pretty much what they wore on the Frieza Force, so really can't fault the figure for that. Although he is really back heavy, so posing him might be a little bit of a challenge, but once you find that butter zone, he's going to stay standing, and I'm having a hard time getting him standing, and I just barely tapped him. Okay, so with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Jeice pose next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Jeice pose next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Jeice pose next to his Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have Jeice pose next to Captain Ginyu. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Jeice's articulation. Now, his hair is on a ball hinge, so it does move up and down, as you can see, works really nicely. It does swivel a little bit, but that's mainly going to be for up and down movement. We really don't get anything else. We don't get too much side-to-side pivot or rotation out of it. And as you would expect, it does hinder articulation on his neck, so he really only looks forward or looks side to side. Can look up and down a little bit, but not the greatest because the hair does hinder a lot of that movement. So do be aware that his head movement is really restricted, especially for a Figuarts figure. His neck does have a really nice ball joint, so I will give it that, and it's a pretty sturdy ball joint. You can see it's holding the weight of the hair, even if I have the hair out like that. It's the hinge in the hair that's giving out, not the ball joint here in his neck, so I do like that. So the armor, unfortunately, just hinges up and down. I don't know why they did it this way, but we do have a butterfly joint which does come out, but just like with Captain Ginyu, it's designed poorly, so realistically you're only getting that much movement out of it because it does butt up against the chest piece right here, and there's no give to the armor, so yeah, you're really just getting that much movement. Even though the arm can come out about that far, it does get clipped along that point of the armor. So it is on a ball joint, so it does move all the way around, pivots up, pivots down, forward and back. We do have some outward movement to the side. Would go all the way around, and again it is hindered a little bit by the shoulder pad. You just gotta adjust that. We do have a bicep swivel, which works fine. Not the best. It's actually a little bit stiff on mine. I'm actually a little worried about that. We do have a double hinge in the elbow, works perfectly well. We do have a ball joint here or a ball hinge at the wrist, which does provide up and down movement. We can rotate that for in and out movement, and of course rotates on that pin. He does have an ab crunch, which I do like the fact that the Ginyu Force gets really good forward ab mobility. Let's see, going back, well, if we adjust his hair, that's pretty decent. He gets some really nice abdomen articulation. You can see he pivots to the side nicely. We get a little bit of rotation up there, rotation down here at his waist. Legs do kick forward to about there, kick back, out to the side, and it could be better, but that's acceptable for Jeice, I think. We do have a thigh swivel, double hinge at the knee, works no problem. I believe it's just a single ball joint here at the foot, so it just pivots forward and back. A little bit of rocker ankle, does rotate, and then we do have a toe hinge. So overall, Jeice here has some pretty good articulation, although just like with Ginyu, it is very limited, and posing his head has very few options, especially with that hair. So anyway, that's Jeice for you guys. Let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Jeice posed for my final thoughts, and overall Jeice is a really nice figure, and I do think he's a welcomed addition to the Dragon Ball Z collection. Now, if you're not a fan of the Ginyu Force, I can see a lot of people passing on this figure, although this is the only way to get the Namekian Dragon Balls actually, so if you are wanting to have the Namekian Dragon Balls, you kind of need to pick up Jeice and Captain Ginyu because they do have the 4-star and 2-star Dragon Ball respectively. Now, the only thing that boggles my mind is that Jeice here is a premium Bandai exclusive figure, and I don't understand why they would make the Dragon Balls exclusive to a premium Bandai set, especially since Captain Ginyu was a mass release and Jeice here is exclusive, so it boggles my mind why they would go that route, although I can see the appeal in it. That Jeice and the Ginyu Force probably aren't really sought after figures, but having them in somebody's collection, it does work in my opinion. I think Jeice here is a really good looking figure, although he does have some hindrances, especially with the hair and the really poor armor design that they went with. They really should have stuck with the Super Broly armor design for every armor figure moving forward, because that's probably the best and most effective way to do it. Here it just kind of gets in the way, and those very old C-clamps do make it really hard to get him to look nice. Yeah, he does come with a couple of extra pieces to do poses, but it's not really enough in my opinion. If you are looking for Jeice right now, he is sold out on Premium Bandai, and he is only available on secondhand websites, and they are charging about $80 for him, which is quite a bit, especially seeing as how his original release was only about $60. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Dragon Ball Z videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.